Chair, Defense, Honorable Bashir.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, before I do the response, I just wanted to bring to the attention of this House a very disturbing and crucial matter that has come to our attention. Honorable Speaker, we have come to learn of certain statements of press made by the former Deputy President concerning matters, especially in Mandera, where he has imputed improper motives on the great people of Mandera during the visit of His Excellency the President to that county, where he said that the President, during his visit at night, met with members of Al-Shabaab together with the leadership of that county.
Honorable Bashir, what statement are you responding to? You're making another statement.
No, I'm trying to bring to attention a very weighty matter, which also touches on defense. Honorable Speaker, the statement by the DP that
You can't ambush me. I was confirming, Honorable Bashir, you know I'm in your committee, and this is a house of record. So I'm confirming because I called you to respond to a statement first. Respond to the statement first. Yeah.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Well guided. Honorable Speaker, the member for Turkana North Constituency, Honorable Ekon Nabin, MP, pursuant to provision of Standing Order 442C, requested a statement from the Cabinet Secretary for Defense regarding the security situation in Todonyang, particularly the massacre of civilians allegedly by the Dasanach militia from Ethiopia on 22nd February 2025. The member specifically sought to be informed on the following. A report on the status of investigations into the Todonyang massacre that occurred on 22nd February 2025, including the steps taken to collaborate with the Ethiopian authorities. B, the measures being put in place to address security breaches at the Kenya border along Lake Turkana and confirmation on whether the security forces have been deployed to ensure protection of these Kenyans at the border. C, the steps taken by the Ministry of Defense through the Kenya Defense Forces to protect fishermen along Lake Turkana during their fishing expeditions. And D, the measures put in place to ensure that the families of the victims are compensated and an indication of when they will receive their compensation. The committee engaged the Minister of Defense on the matters raised by the Honorable Nawin. I therefore wish to respond as follows. Honorable Speaker, on the status of investigation to the Todonyang massacre, the Minister of Defense has clarified that the Kenya Defense Forces was not directly involved in the investigation process. The Kenya Defense Forces, however, remained on standby to provide security assistance if required. Investigation into such incidents fall under the jurisdiction of the National Police Service under the Ministry of Interior and National Administration. There is, however, acknowledgement of the transboundary nature of the incident. Nevertheless, the Ministry has not reported any joint investigations or formal collaboration with the Ethiopian authorities so far. Regarding the security breaches along the Kenya-Ethiopia border near Lake Turkana, the Ministry reports that the Kenya Defense Force personnel have been deployed to various areas in Turkana County, including Lokchogio, Nadapal, Kainuk, Napaitom, and Kokenye. These deployments are conducted within a multi-agency framework in support of the National Police Service under Gazette Notice number 1900 of 13 February 2023. Patrols and surveillance operations are ongoing to stabilize the region and deter cross-border attacks. Further, the Ministry has indicated that plans are underway to establish a permanent detachment in Liwan area on military land allocated by the Turkana County government, which will bolster long-term security infrastructure. Concerning the protection of fishermen in Lake Turkana, the Ministry of Defense stated that while the Kenya Defense Force deployment has been enhanced in Turkana, the specific mandate of securing fishermen and inland waterways rests with the security agencies under the Ministry of Interior and National Administration. However, the ministry affirms its continued commitment to supporting civil authorities within the existing operational frameworks when required. On the matter of compensation to the families of victims, the Ministry of Defense has not received any formal claim or request for compensation as of the date of the response. Consequently, no compensation arrangements have been made or timelines established. This indicates a potential gap in communication between the affected families and the relevant state institutions responsible for restitution and redress. Honorable Speaker, the ministry further emphasizes that the deployment of the Kenya Defense Forces to Turkana was undertaken pursuant to Article 2413B of the Constitution to assist in restoring peace and order in areas afflicted by banditry and intercommunal conflicts. While significant gains have been made in reducing insecurity through the civil-military cooperation, CIMIC, and the community engagement initiatives, the ministry acknowledges the continued challenges posed by cross-border incursions. I submit. I thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Very well. Is a member in the House? Yes. Honorable Ekwom.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, the response is not satisfactory because, Madam Speaker, from my understanding of the existence of KDF, under Article 3421(3)(a), the responsibility of KDF is defense and protection of the sovereignty and territorial integrity of the Republic. Madam Speaker, it seems the CS doesn't understand the location of Todonyang. Todonyang is located at the border of Kenya and Ethiopia, and the attackers were Ethiopian militia, and therefore it was an external aggression, an external incursion. And I thought this calls for the intervention and the response by KDF. Madam Speaker, the CS discusses deployment of KDF internally. She has mentioned areas that are within the country. We are talking about an external aggression. So, Madam Speaker, I want to request that you direct that the CS appears before that committee together with myself so that she will be able to give more information, because the Turkana people are looking forward to a response that has not been forthcoming in the last 6 months. People in Todonyang.
You've put your point. You've put your point.
Okay, thank you.
Let's hear the chair first.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, we have noted the concerns of the Honorable Member, and I think most appropriately we will be able to get back to the ministry on those concerns. We are aware that the issues of internal deployment and external deployments, so certainly his concerns are also valid, but we will get back to the ministry to further elaborate on this matter so that the member can adequately be satisfied on the same. So we'll get back to the ministry.
How soon?
I think because we are going on recess probably within 2 weeks, even if it is giving him directly the response, that could be appropriate. So within 2 weeks, we will be able to get response from the ministry.
Honorable Ekwom, is that agreeable? Thank you. Thank you, Chair. Now I'll indulge you on the other matter, which is not on my desk.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I just wanted to bring to the attention of this House and the Kenyans at large that the former Deputy President made a press statement while in the U.S. Imputing improper motives on the great people of Mandera and the Kenyan Somali community at large, where he claimed that during the president's visit to Mandera, the president personally met with the members of Al-Shabaab, together with the members of the leadership of that country. Honorable Speaker, these are very outrageous and reckless statements, especially coming from someone who was once a deputy president. It's unfortunate that these kind of statements further indicate that the kind of gap that exists between people who serve in high offices and those who are currently serving. Honorable Speaker, you also indicated that the abolition of vetting process to especially the Somali community and people living within the borders is ill-advised and that IDs will be given to terrorists. Honorable Speaker, that means that the Kenyan Somali community, according to the former deputy president, are all terrorists, that they don't warrant to be given ID cards. It's unfortunate that this is not the first time the former deputy president has profiled the Kenyan Somali community. Not once, not twice, not thrice. And it's unfortunate that it's coming from him. And two, he also goes ahead and says that while in the US, he's going to give information and names to the US government on matters that has transpired between the president and what he alleges to be meeting with Al-Shabaab and other elements. Honorable Speaker, first and foremost, Kenya is not a colony of any country, including America. America and Kenya are mutual countries with mutual respect. We gain from America, they gain from us.
Honorable Bashir, keep it short.
Okay, Honorable Speaker. So, Honorable Speaker, my point is that, you know, in our Somali culture, when somebody goes berserk or is mentally disturbed, they are chained in their family tree. And I want to ask the family that please chain one Rigathi Gachagua, because what he is saying and what he is speaking is tantamount to somebody who is mad and mentally disturbed.
Honorable Njeri, what is out of order?
And at this point,
Honorable Speaker, we know that if someone is mentally incapacitated, it is a case of
he's mad.
a doctor giving a medical report in regard to that. Is Honorable Bashir a doctor? Has he evaluated His Excellency, the former Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua? Can he substantiate those claims? This is a serious house. We do not want drama here. We have serious national matters to be discussing.
Honorable Speaker, you know, the way he behaves, the way he acts, just shows that he's mentally disturbed and deranged. Because those words he spoke in America cannot be spoken by somebody who is mentally okay.
Honorable Bashir, I want to put this to a close. Personally, I have not listened to those sentiments, so I have no comment on the same. But I would want us to be parliamentary and wind up this debate for 30 seconds. Wind up.
Honorable Speaker, I agree with you. My point is that Rigathi Gachagua was once a deputy president, and the words and statements that he makes should befit the office that he once held. And is somebody that is actually of importance to us, because while he's speaking out there, talking ill of this country. And in fact, I will also say, because he is a security threat to this country, let him stay in America and don't set foot in this country again. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Honorable Bashir, what is out of order? Honorable Bashir, you know there are many avenues of bringing matters to this house. You are actually free to be on record if you want to bring a motion, but I want to put that matter to rest at that point. Honorable Clive, what is out of order?
Honorable Speaker, it is wrong for the honorable member to say that the former deputy president should not step into this country. He needs to withdraw that statement because he doesn't have such powers, and it's inciting in nature. There is no difference from the same person he's trying to accuse if he takes that path. He needs to withdraw.
Honorable Undo.
Speaker, I'm always get baffled when we keep on wasting valuable parliamentary time talking about somebody who does not sit here in parliament And somebody we were told that within 2 weeks after impeachment, he will be an entity, he will be inconsequential, he will not even be able to move. I wonder what's the obsession? What is the panic? What is the bile? Just ignore him and move on. If you think you've vanquished him politically, I can't understand it. We have more pressing issues in this country, Honorable Speaker.
Honorable members,
Surely.
you have made your point, Honorable Undo. I would want us to make progress. I have guided Honorable Bashir. In case you want this matter to be discussed as a motion, you know there are avenues that you can do that as a motion. But I also agree with Honorable Clive that you cannot issue threats of stepping on this soil for any citizen. So, Honorable Bashir, you had done very well, but the last statement you will withdraw.
Honorable Speaker, I think there are so many other personalities that have been asked not to step this country, and they're out there. In fact, those ones are even done illegally. This man is a threat to national security, the way he's speaking. Talking about a president meeting with Al-Shabaab.
Do not debate, Honorable Bashir.
Yes.
Do not debate.
So I don't think
I did not ask for substantiation. I said withdraw the last statement. All the other things you can say.
He has talked ill about the Somali community more than once, and I think that man, no. We'll even prosecute him on civil courts. I'm not withdrawing. Yeah.
Honorable Bashir, Standing Order number 107A, a member commits an act of gross disorderly conduct if the member A defies a ruling or direction from the Speaker or chairperson of committee. I'm not done. So I have requested you to withdraw that statement, and you have defied that ruling. I will ask you to withdraw from the chamber. Order members, let us make progress. The Chair of Energy Committee. Chair of Energy Committee. That matter is dispensed off with. Chair of Energy Committee. Are you the one who is the chair?
No, I'm a member, but delivering the response on behalf of the chair.
You have the statement?
Yes.
Okay. Kindly make your statement as requested by Honorable Naisula, who is in the House.
Thank you, Honorable Chair, the Speaker. Honorable Speaker, allow me to deliver the response by Cabinet Secretary, Minister of Energy and Petroleum, on the questions raised by the Honorable Member for Samburu West regarding persistent power outage in Samburu West constituency. On question 1, the immediate and underlying causes of persistent power outages currently being experienced in Maralal Town and other parts of Samburu West constituency. Honorable Speaker, Samburu West constituency, including Maralal Town, is served by the 33 kV line originating from Lanet, Nakuru through Nyahururu Town. Maralal Town is at the terminal end of this line, spanning over 200 kilometers from Lanet 132 over 33 kV substation. Along the way, it serves part of Nakuru, Nyandarua, Baringo, and Laikipia counties. By being at the terminal end and with no alternative supply, any fault occurring on the line or routine maintenance on any section of the line affects Maralal Town. Essentially, this 33 kV distribution line is among the longest ones in the country and is performing a transmission function. The line is maintained by respective county teams, with each county handling well-defined areas. Samburu team maintains this line from the boundary with Laikipia County up to Maralal 33 over 11 kV substation. During the April rains, a pole fell near Rimuruti town and in an area where the section of the line was inaccessible due to mud. As a result, there was prolonged power outage in the area. However, the issue has been resolved and continuous supply of power to the larger Samburu County restored. On this question number 2, reason for lack of formal communication or advance notification to residents and business of interruption of power supply as required by law under the Energy Act. Honorable Speaker, KPLC has maintained an open communication structure with all its customers in every part of the country. In Samburu County, in case of a breakdown on the main line or a planned maintenance program, KPLC county leadership relays the information to the local radio station, that is Serian FM, for broadcasting to the local community. This is over and above the normal newspaper notices for planned maintenance programs. On the third question, measures that the ministry has put in place to urgently resolve this outage and ensure consistent and reliable power supply to Samburu West constituency moving forward. Honorable Speaker, to improve on supply reliability to Samburu West constituency, the following urgent measures have been put in place by the ministry. Thorough inspection of the entire 33 kV line from Lanet to Maralal town and the 11 kV line and transformers emanating from Maralal 3311 kV substation. 2, vegetation management of all the lines to keep trees off the power lines. 3, replacement of rotten wooden poles with concrete poles to prevent breakdowns. 4, repair of automatic voltage regulations along the 33 kV line to improve the outage at the Samburu. 4th question, alternative or strategic partnerships being explored by the ministry to provide Maralal and entire Samburu West constituency with supplementary or backup power sources to mitigate the effect of power outages in the future. Honorable Speaker, to ensure power reliability and stability in the larger Samburu area, the following initiatives are being put in place in the medium term. 1, Ketrako's new Nanyuki Rimuruti 132 kV transmission line and a 132 over 33 kV Rimuruti substation are at advanced stage with a scheduled completion date of December 2025. KPLC is also constructing a dedicated line from Rimuruti, a 132 over 33 kV substation to Marala town, a 33 over 11 kV substation, and stop relying on Lanet 132 over 133 kV substation, that is in Nakuru County, as the primary source. This will leave Nyahururu link as an alternative and hence greatly improve supply of reliable and capacity enhancement of power supply to Samburu County. 2, KPLC is also exploring for another alternative supply to Maralal from Isiolo through Wamba town. There is a distribution line gap of around 23 kilometers that, if done, will link with the existing 33 kV line at Kisima Center. Route survey for the line has been completed and the designs are ongoing. KPLC is continuously undertaking transmission and distribution network refurbishment and vegetation management to improve grid reliance in all parts of the country. On the final question, plans, if any, by the ministry to compensate affected residents and business for the losses occasioned by the perennial power outage. Honorable Speaker, the ministry remains committed to delivering quality, reliable, and cost-effective electricity to the people of Samburu West constituency and Kenyans at large. The ministry regrets the inconvenience caused by the outage, which has since been addressed significantly to the root cause. The current power challenges within the energy sector are largely attributed to low investment in generation and transmission in the last few years. Therefore, Kenya Power and Lighting Company does not have a compensation criteria for power outage outages in the country. That's the response, the Honorable Speaker.
Very well. Before I give the Honorable Naisula, allow me to recognize in the public gallery Nyali School from Nyali constituency, Mombasa County. Join me in welcoming them to the to Parliament. Honorable Naisula. Yes, I also take note. I am not able to see the public gallery, but if they are not in the house, they are on record. That
It's also good to just recognize them. So, Chair, Madam Speaker, thank you very much for this opportunity. I want to first say that I do not agree 1 second, 1 bit with that statement read by the chairperson on behalf of the chairperson of Energy Committee. I will raise the substantive issues as to why, but also the issues of CSAs or PSAs, CSAs responding to us without getting facts from the ground through their committees will not be acceptable in this House, Madam Speaker. And why do I say this? The question that has been said that this matter has been resolved, I want to put it to the Chair of Energy that as we speak right now, there is no electricity in Samburu West. It has not been there last week, Tuesday, the entire day, entire night. It was not there on Sunday, just this past Sunday. And so, flowery languages here to tell us what is happening on where we come from. Us members who sit here represent those constituencies. We are the ones who know what is happening in our constituencies. And so writing beautiful statements here to say that the matter has been resolved, I will not accept it, Madam Speaker. I'm actually happy this statement was not answered before, so that it is answered on real time when we have no electricity in Samburu West constituency. The second issue, Madam Speaker, you have heard that this is a long line. But what happens to the north and the northeasterns and the periphery? We are always the last ones. The statement said it is from Lanet, Nakuru County, but Samburu is the last. And that is why we face the same problem. I want to ask, does Nakuru County not have electricity right now? Because it serves the same line. I want to know why, because I have done my survey. We share the same line, but the other counties, Nyandarua, Nakuru, will have electricity, but Samburu West constituency will not have electricity. So I also to put it to you this way on the third answer about the long-term plans. The Rumuruti substation has been built. It's been being built. It is there. I don't know why it's not been commissioned for the last 15 years. I want to again put it to you that there are parts of this country which are not taken seriously and they are not valued. Why should we even have a substation in Laikipia County, in Rumuruti? We need a substation in Samburu County. Because my colleague from Samburu East, the one you're talking about, the electricity from Wamba, the other option is to bring it from Samburu East. He told me Samburu East is again now facing the same challenge we are facing in Samburu West. I want to conclude, Madam Speaker, by saying we have children who are in incubators. We have business people who are running businesses in Maralal. We have students who study using electricity. So if someone thinks Samburus only use manyatas and small tin lamps, we want electricity just like every other Kenyan. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Honorable Sane.
Madam Speaker, Kenya Power and Lighting Company is a public company. I can't understand what exonerates them from negligence when there are outages. From the statement read by the committee, it's like KPLC is not responsible for anything they do occasioned by outages resulting from their negligence. Why should that happen? People of Samburu deserve the right for compensation if there is any negligence on the part of KPLC. Why should such a statement come from such a company?
Honorable Oundo.
Honorable Speaker, sometimes we say the rich also cry. Honorable Speaker, the reader, whoever has represented the chair happens to come with the same county like mine. And whenever, Honorable Speaker, it drizzles, not stop even raining, when it drizzles, almost the entire Busia County, power goes off. Almost the entire Busia County, power goes off. I hope as he has read a false statement, a misleading statement, he will also, when they come to rectify the statement, he will also raise the issue of Busia and never ask.
Honorable Undo, you know you can raise the issue of Busia. Even
no, I'm sending him because he's a member of his ranking, he's a senior member of the committee.
Do not cast aspersions on your colleagues.
No, so I'm just saying, when the cabinet secretary is coming, or the permanent secretary is coming, principal secretary is coming to answer, I hope I'll be aware, so that we also pick up the issue of intermittent power failure in many of the outlying areas of this country. Most of Busia County and Funyula constituency as a whole,
made your point.
And I know it extends to
Honorable
Kenya as
Owen.
well. Thank you.
Honorable Owen.
I want to speak as a member of Kilifi North, Honorable Speaker. And I want to say this. You know, it is time that we allow competition in the energy sector. That this Kenya power is the reason why we do not have power. Because of the monopoly that they have. And they behave the way they do and give us that kind of replies to this House just because they are a monopoly. But I think as a Parliament, we have responsibility to make law, to publish sessional papers, and one sessional paper that we need to bring here is the split of that KPLC, so that we diversify the market. Anybody who has money to invest in the energy sector, and other countries actually have done well in the energy sector because they don't have monopoly in that sector, Honorable Speaker. So I think the energy team that is here, the Committee on Energy, including my friend who read that, and we want to exonerate you. You are doing your duty as a member of Parliament for your area, but also as a legislator in the National Assembly from that area, not for that area. Ondo, I think that was unfair on your friend. But I also want to say this. It was very, very unfair on your colleague. But I want to say this, Honorable Speaker. That Energy Committee needs to push a motion in this Parliament to give other players an opportunity to distribute power, to buy power from KenGen and distribute, and not just KPLC. Because the mess that we have, you tell KPLC, connect my house. They give you a bill, Honorable Speaker, of a transformer, of wires, of poles, totaling to almost 10 million. So that they make it impossible to put the grid to the poorest areas in this country. And because they do that, those areas continue to be poor. Honorable Speaker, as a House, I think, and I want to challenge the committee, please bring a sessional paper to this House so that we allow other players who have resources and money to distribute power and not just KPLC. I support you, Honorable Lesuda, and the faith that your people suffer, the same faith that my people suffer, whether I'm in government or not. But I say, put electricity in this village.
Thank you.
Wait a minute,
the reason I've given many joyriders is also because you also speak for Gilgil, which has the same problem.
Yes.
So I
want to speak for Gilgil, Honorable Speaker. We must split. We must monopolize KPLC.
I think Honorable Owen has actually concluded it. Energy Committee, this statement is not up to standard. Can you commit to do better than you have done? Specifically on Maralal, before you bring the global issue.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I actually undertake to go back to my committee and discuss this matter further. But Honorable Speaker, allow me to add this. I have one member who is present. This issue of power and the way Honorable Undo has pointed out, I also come from Busia County. We are equally affected. And the issue that the Honorable Insula raised is the issue of the substation that the ministry is saying that they are constructing, and the Honorable Insula is saying the construction is endless. Honorable Speaker, perhaps I may urge this House, because if we can allocate more resources to this particular energy ministry so that we can have more substations, because this is an issue as a committee we had with the minister, and the only response they had was that they don't have resources to build enough substations in the country. On the issue of liberalization of Kenya Power, I support the sentiment by the Deputy Majority Leader. That one is a debate that we are having in the committee, and very soon we will bring something to the floor of the House so that we can open up the energy sector.
Wangu ambao wanasoma katika shule ya kutoka Likoni, mimi ni mama county wenu, nataka niwaambie elimu ndio msingi wa maisha. Asikusumbue mtu, asikudanganye mtu, kama tunavyosema nyumbani, don't touch hapa kwangu, wapi hapo, hapa kwangu. And we show hizo sehemu zote, kwa sababu ukikubali ushikwe hapo utaacha masomo, utapotea njia, hautakuwa hapa bungeni kama mama county. Kwa hiyo mimi nawaomba someni kwa bidii. Kama kuna matatizo yote ambayo mnayo, ofisi ya mama yenu iko wazi. Walimu ambao mmekuja hapa na wanafunzi, mimi nawapa nguvu sana na niwapongeze sana walimu kwa kazi nzuri ambao mnafanya. Kama si nyinyi leo, pia sisi wabunge tusingekuwa leo hapa bungeni. Kwa knowledge na elimu ambao mmetupatia leo, sisi wabunge tuko hapa tunapigania matakwa yenu ya kule mashinani. Kwa hiyo wanafunzi, kesho kuta nataka kuona mama county ama MP ametoka katika hii timu ambayo imekuja hapa leo kuangalia vile tunavyoendeleza bunge. Asanteni sana na Mungu awaregeshe nyumbani salama.
Aya, yametosha basi. Aya, Mheshimiwa Gisairo.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I think taking into consideration the great contributions by all the members in this House on the importance and significance of NGCDF, it is important. However, I would like to just take a shot on our majority leader, Owen Bayer. I heard him say that 100% of the funds have been disbursed. Honorable Owen, you know, we are in a different financial year. We cannot be talking about the last financial year. We need to be proactive. Actually, we need to start knowing why Treasury is late in disbursing the first quarter funds for this financial year. As per the Act, actually, the money is supposed to be sent in the first month, that is July, because the committees do not pay for the work after, right? The money has to be there for the committees to start working. So for this financial year, we are actually currently running behind schedule. And we would like to request that Treasury, as we do our part as Parliament, they also do their part in a timely manner so that we move this country forward together. Honorable Speaker, I beg to reply, but Honorable Speaker, pursuant to Standing Order 53.3, I beg we defer putting the question.
Very well, we shall defer the putting of the question the next available time. Next order.
Order number 13, motion, consideration of Senate amendment to the Land Amendment Bill, National Assembly Bill number 40 of 2022.
Honorable Simon Kingara, member for Ruiru.
Thank you, Madam Speaker, for giving me this opportunity to move the following motion that the Senate amendment to the Land Amendment Bill Land Amendment Bill, National Assembly Bill number 40 of 2022 be now considered. Madam Speaker, we have been following on this bill here in the National Assembly. It went to Senate. It has come back to us with an amendment. And Madam Speaker, I'm in agreement with the amendment because actually the amendment is enforcing of gazettement of what is in the clause 3 of the bill, whereby the Senate proposes that the registration be gazetted, and it is in order, noting that we are dealing with public land, because the matter is touching public land. It is important when you touch public land, the general public should be notified. And one of the ways of notifying the public is going to the gazettement, whereby through gazettement, and the timing of the gazettement, we can use it as a relevance when we did a legislation, Madam Speaker. Noting that people might maybe disagree with the registration, and when you have pulled and pushed the matter all the way to gazettement, it shows that it has followed the due process of making an amendment through the National Assembly and Senate. And actually, noting that also there is an agreement, Madam Speaker, between the two parliaments, giving respect that we are in a bicameral parliamentary, whereby we have to agree one matter must be agreeable in both houses. This matter has been agreed in both houses. I, as the owner of the amendment, am in agreement with the amendment, and so I request that this process be completed, and I ask Honorable Gitari, Kirinyaga Central, to second. Thank you.
Honorable Gitari. Move. Did you move, Honorable?
Yeah, I move. I request that I move the amendment.
Very well. Honorable Gitari.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I support the amendment by Mheshimiwa King'ara. Honorable Speaker, this is a bill that tries to, when we are doing subdivisions in pieces of land, when we are preparing the master plans, there are public utilities. And those public utilities, what Honorable King'ara is trying to do is to say, when you are doing the other titles, all the titles for public utilities should be produced at the same time. The import of this, Madam Speaker, is that we solve the problem of a public utility, maybe it was a school, a nursery school, or any other utility. Madam Speaker, even after, if it's a school, Madam Speaker, when it is done, the title goes to PS Treasury. So I support, and it is very timely, and congratulations, Honorable King'ara.
You are to second.
I second.
Very well. Honorable members, I therefore propose a question that the Senate amendment to the Land Amendment Bill, National Assembly Bill number 40 of 2022, be now considered. Before I indulge members, allow me to recognize in the public gallery Aremi School from Molo constituency, Nakuru County, Tumaini School from Molo constituency, Nakuru County. I take this opportunity to welcome them to the House to observe the proceedings. If you intend to speak on this, use the intervention. Honorable Owen.
Yeah, I want to join the Honorable King'ara and congratulate him for his work around this issue of public land. Honorable Speaker, I want to inform you that the Honorable King'ara and I, in the 12th Parliament, served together in the Committee on Lands. And in that committee, I saw his diligence, I saw his ability and his passion for actually protecting public land. And this piece of legislation that is bringing forth, Honorable Speaker, is about protecting public land. As you're aware, Honorable Speaker, we have lost a lot of public land to unscrupulous land grabbers, Honorable Speaker. People who are just eyeing public land. The only way to do that is to ensure that those titles of those public lands are issued at the same time when other titles are issued. You know, Honorable Speaker, the problem has been everybody else gets a piece of his paper, the title, but the public land title is not issued at that time. And therefore, it becomes vulnerable for people to actually... Honorable Speaker, you go to a settlement scheme, a big settlement scheme where everybody else has a title. The school in that scheme was given the land at the same time as the other people. But the title for that public school has not been issued. Or the title for that hospital has not been issued, Honorable Speaker. And because of that, Honorable Speaker, we have run into the danger where every time titles are for public institutions are not given, and therefore people take advantage and actually steal those public lands, Honorable Speaker. As we speak, many of the schools that we have in this country do not have titles, and yet the neighbors have titles. And you ask yourself, so what happened? Because somebody actually issued the neighbors with the titles, but refused to issue the school with a title. But we are saying, Honorable Speaker, henceforth, when we pass this bill and it is assented, all public land must be issued with titles at the same time as others, so that, Honorable Speaker, the amendment from the Senate, which I agree with, and which the Honorable King'ara agrees with, is that it be immediately gazetted. Be gazetted that this is public land, this is a police station, this is a hospital, so that nobody comes to overturn that decision at any other time. And therefore, Honorable Speaker, I support the Senate amendment, and it has contributed to good legislation. And Honorable Speaker, I said this, the spirit. The spirit is, if we pass law here that touches on matters that are at the level of the Senate, Honorable Speaker, if it goes to the Senate, we don't have to always come to mediation or cantankerous laws, Honorable Speaker, laws that, and we seem to be fighting, Honorable Speaker. This is the House of Parliament. And when we pass a law that the Senate approves, looks at and improves in its content and its form, Honorable Speaker, we have no issue. We agree. And I think that is the spirit of the bicameral Parliament. And therefore, Honorable King'ara, I thank you, and I want to tell the people of Ruiru they have a good legislator in you, and they have no reason not to give you a third term to continue the good work that you're doing. I thank you.
Honorable Jane Kihara, are you on this one? Give her the microphone.
I'm here. Thank you very much, Madam Speaker. I also rise to support the amendment by the Senate. I served with Honorable King'ara in the Lands Committee, and I know he has been at this for the longest. Madam Speaker, as we talk now, there is a land of my Mahiu Girls Secondary School. Everybody in the neighborhood knows that that land was for the school. But somebody has gone to lands, he has gotten a title, so now the school is fighting over that land. Suppose that title was given when the subdivision was being made, or when the school was going to get that title. So this is very, very important. We have seen even the land buying companies, when they leave public facilities, eventually the same directors, because they know where they left these pieces of land, they go back and subdivide them or grab them. So this is a good law, and I support it, Madam Speaker.
Thank you very well. Honorable Makali.
Yeah, thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I also want to appreciate Honorable King'ara for this important legislation. But I'm just wondering, Honorable Speaker, whether it has not come too late in the day. Because, Honorable Speaker, if we were to document public land which has been grabbed, starting from schools, road reserves, hospitals, public beaches, the list will be endless, Honorable Speaker. I know it is not possible, those who are legal minds, I know it's not possible to apply some law retrogressively, that is going backwards. But I think, Honorable Speaker, we need to come up with a mechanism to ensure that anybody who has grabbed public land, because if you go to the original maps, and we have surveyors here, if you go to the original maps, you'll be able to know originally this land was set aside for what. And even most of our estates, Honorable Speaker, you realize that land set aside for our children to play has already been grabbed. Land set aside for police posts has already been grabbed. Land set aside for health centers has already been grabbed. So you have a whole estate, and you can't have any place you can put a public facility like a health center, Honorable Speaker. So even as I support, I think as a house, we need to take up the challenge and ask ourselves, is it possible that we go back and look at where the rain started beating us so that we are able to recover this land? Because so long as land was grabbed, Honorable Speaker, Even if it was done 40 years ago, it still remains for public land. If we were to go that direction, we'll have so much land for our public utilities that there will be no need to start buying. Honorable Speaker, at times I get so much annoyed. I feel bad as a Kenyan that you see land which was originally public land, the government coming up later and buying the same land from a, it doesn't make sense at all. If you follow the story of the NSSF, Honorable Speaker, the history of the NSSF, once upon a time in this country, NSSF was buying land which actually used to belong to the government. It is awarded to a majority leader. For example, I'm giving an example. People don't, let Kenyans not mistake. It's given to Honorable Mbaya, and within 1 year or two, Honorable Mbaya comes with a title, indicate that land is private, and he sells to the same government. This is craziness, Honorable Speaker. And that's why we are saying, I think this law, we need to support it, but even after becoming an act of parliament, I don't know whether we need to set a special committee to look at these matters, although I'm sure it is going to be a very hot potato, but this is the way I would want us to go, that if you grabbed public land at any point in the history of Kenya, let the land go back to the public so that Kenya can sell some of this land and make money. We can actually sell this land to individuals and then pay our public debt. We'll be helping this country. And I'm sure you can pay our public debt if we are to recover all the land and sell to private individuals or private companies, Honorable Speaker. With those many remarks, I support.
Very well. Before I come to Honorable King'ara, I'll indulge you, member for Molo. You have had very many students come today, so I'll give you 1 minute.
I thank you, Honorable Speaker, for indulgence. I would like to take this opportunity to welcome to the National Assembly the future engineers, future lawyers, future members of parliament, future presidents, future doctors. And these are the great students of Aremi Primary School, Nyakembe Secondary School, and Matumaini Primary School to observe the proceedings of this House. Honorable Speaker, I've always taken it as a habit when I visit these schools to invite them, especially the uppermost class, to come and observe the proceedings of Parliament, to come and see that there is life outside Molo. Because one of the things that we have to really do and grow as a people is if we encourage integration, we encourage people to work and live in different parts of this country and to realize that there is a lot of opportunities out here. So thank you for your indulgence and I'd like to welcome the students to observe the proceeding of this House. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Very well. Honorable King'ara. Hold on. Honorable Njeri, are you on this one or it's the former one that you had done? Okay.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Allow me to commend the Honorable Member, King'ara, for this amendment. I believe it is timely that when developers are constructing any, or maybe coming up with future plans, they also ensure they encompass and think about the public utilities and amenities that will be needed by the public. Further to that, Honorable Speaker, we do need to have a serious national conversation with the Ministry of Lands in regard to titleage of public land, Honorable Speaker. As we speak, we know that there's various parcels of public land that are in contention in regard to where the title deed is, who owns the title deed, and also private encroachment on public land. In Kirinyaga County, for example, Ngiriambu Primary School land has been encroached by private individuals. And this is a government institution that has been in existence for many years. So we need to resolve these matters, Honorable Speaker, so that our future is safeguarded. Thank you.
Very well. Honorable King'ara.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. But pursuant to the provision of Standing Order 53.3, Madam Speaker, I request deferment of putting of the question on this motion.
It is assented to, and honorable members, order number 14 was subject to the decision of order number 13, so we will go to order number 15 and defer this for another day.
Order number 15, motion, consideration of report on the examination of financial statements for the National Humanitarian Fund.
Honorable Fatuma, Chairperson, Special Funds Account Committee.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I beg to move that this House adopts the following audited financial statements for National Humanitarian Fund for the financial year 2020-2021, National Humanitarian Fund for the financial year 2021-2022. Honorable Speaker, the committee received oral and written submissions from Mr. Raymond Omolo, the Principal Secretary, State Department, Internal Security and National Administration, and the accounting officer of the fund, regarding the audited financial statement for the financial year 2020-2021 and 2021-2022. The submissions formed the basis of the committee observation findings and recommendations. These are also contained in the minutes and answered reports of the committee proceedings. Honorable Speaker, in preparing and developing this report, the committee relied on the constitutional and legal provisions on the public finance management and other enabling legislations as the basis for inviting the accounting officer of the National Humanitarian Fund to respond to issues raised by the Auditor General, as well as the additional information submitted on the administration and performance, financial and non-financial, of the fund, to come up with general recommendations geared towards effective management and operations of the fund, as well as improved accountability and financial reporting. Honorable Speaker, during the examination of the audited reports, the committee made the following general observations which apply across the two financial years. 1. At the time of the audit, 4 banks' accounts were dominant and were holding idle funds despite provision in the Act and completion of disbursement of grants to IDPs. This is in contravention of the provision of the Section 16(2) of the Prevention and Protection Assistance to Internally Displaced Persons and Affected Communities Act 2012, which provides that accounting officer may, with approval of the Cabinet Secretary, for the time being responsible for the finance, invest, or place on a deposit interest earning account any of the monies of the fund, and any interest earned on the monies so invested or deposited shall be placed to the credit of the fund. 2. The fund did not have a functional committee since its 3-year tenure expired in 2017, resulting in no funds being disbanded and no payment schedules being prepared due to the absence of a functional committee. This contravenes the Prevention, Protection, and Assistance to Internally Displaced Persons and Affected Communities Act 2012, which prescribes the fund administration procedures, including the compensation and functions of the committee and secretariat. 3. The committee recommended, in relation to both issues, the Cabinet Secretary for the Ministry of Interior and National Administration should reconstitute a functional National Consultative Coordination Committee on IDPs to facilitate the winding up of the matters related to the fund within 6 months upon the adoption of this report. Honorable Speaker, it is for this reason that on behalf of the Special Funds Accounts Committee, I am proud to move this motion on the consideration of the report of the Auditor General on the financial statement for the National Humanitarian Fund. Honorable Speaker, I beg to move, and I now request Honorable Catherine Omanyo, who is a committed committee member, to second the motion. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Member for Busia.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I second the motion, and I ardently support our conclusion. I was questioning as well, why should we have a lot of money lying in the accounts for internally displaced people, yet they are displaced because they do not have a place to call home and they lack social amenities, yet we have all the monies in the account. If somebody is displaced in their own country, we have a lot of idle land. We have land being sold everywhere in this country. Why not use that money to buy land and settle them
So we questioned, and unfortunately, up to date, the issue is still at stake. And I pray that one day, no Kenyan will be displaced. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Very well. Honourable members, I therefore propose a question that this House adopts the report of the Special Funds Accounts Committee on its consideration of the audited accounts for the National Humanitarian Fund for the financial years 2020-2021 to 2021-2022, laid on the table of the House on Tuesday, 29th July of 2025. Honourable Makali.
Yeah, thank you so much, Honourable Speaker. Honourable Speaker, I want to thank the Committee on Special Funds for this report. The report is looking at the National Humanitarian Fund. And as I've listened to the chairperson moving this bill, Honourable Speaker, I was asking myself very many questions. This is a humanitarian fund, which means it's supposed to be having a lot of human rights issues in it. And you hear that money has been in that fund for over the years, and the money is not being used. And now they are recommending that we form a committee, or the minister forms a steering committee to determine how the funds can be used. Now, this report is for 2021-2022, if I've listened well. Today we are in 2025. Does it mean for the years between 2023 up to date, Honourable Chairperson, the money is still in the account? Is that the implication? Or does it mean then the 6 months you are giving, are they from the date of your report, or are they for the earlier years? I would have wanted to see that clarification. Maybe when you are replying, you could educate Kenyans on that. But what is very critical, Honourable Speaker, is the fact that we have a minister in that ministry, we have a permanent secretary in that ministry, and they know the term for this steering committee expired. And unless the steering committee is there, Honourable Speaker, nothing can move in that humanitarian fund. So the question is, why does it have to wait all the way up to the Auditor General to pick that information and have a Parliament draw a recommendation to have that steering committee in place? For me, Honourable Speaker, these are the kind of things I'm saying. If as a country, Honourable Speaker, we have to develop and go far, we must demand accountability from officers who are in charge of these institutions. And unless we hold officers accountable, Honourable Speaker, for sure, this country will remain, we continue saying we have no money, we have no resources. Imagine, Honourable Speaker, we are borrowing money through the domestic market. This government is borrowing money through central bank, sale of treasury bills and bonds. And this is money lying there. So even if we didn't want to use the money for the displaced persons, this money the government would have used to do other things, and at the right time, refund the money back to the fund. But you can see, Honourable Speaker, we are borrowing money at a very high interest rate, and these are the resources. And that's what we have said, Honourable Speaker, many times, that it is important we have what we call a single treasury account. And the Honourable Minister for Treasury promised that from July this year, we'll be having that account. I hope now the account is operational. Because if we had this account, Honourable Speaker, all this money lying in different accounts belong to different organizations and MDAs, Honourable Speaker, would be in a central place where Treasury can easily use the money. And when the time comes and you need the money, then the money is given to you. So these are some of the challenges the country are facing. And it is very hurting. You know, it disappoints, it discourages when you hear this kind of reports coming from our chairpersons, just stating the situation as it is. And you ask yourself, as a Kenyan, is this the way we want to do is this the way we want to conduct our business? I'm sure, Honourable Speaker, we can't go this way and go far. So we need a serious shift in the way we do our things. And this can only come if the kind of reports I've listened to are implemented to the letter. So I think we need our Committee on Implementation and our majority leadership, because they are the people representing the government, these are the issues, these are the low-lying fruits we could pick as a country and move this economy to the next level. With those remarks, Honorable Speaker, I want to support and say that those recommendations given there, we should be able to track or monitor them so that within 6 months, whatever the chair has recommended is implemented. It's going to be good for this country. Thank you so much, Honorable Speaker.
Honorable Fatuma.
Thank you, Honorable Member, for your concern. Madam Speaker, I would like to put it across that the accounting officer, who is the PS, do not have the mandate to constitute a committee. It's upon the CS to put up a committee. And so it would be wrong for him to start giving out or doing payments or disbursement to any victim without a committee. A committee must sit down and pass that that person needs to be paid. Again, Madam Speaker, there is also an ongoing court case that some IDPs, could be true or not true, appeared and said the people who are being paid are not the true IDPs and they are the true IDPs, and the matter is in court. In such a scenario, even if the committee was there, how would the PS pay these people, yet there is a court case that is saying that they are not the right people to be paid, and there's a list of other people who claims to be the right people? It makes the work very difficult for the PS, and I'm not defending him. I'm saying as chair of the committee that this is the scenario, and this is what the Auditor General brought to our table. This is what members looked at, and we looked at it thoroughly. And for purpose of record, we called the PS twice. He appeared once. The answers were not satisfactory. We recalled him again. He answered the queries, and that is the position. At the moment, the money is still lying in the accounts because he cannot pay without a committee, and he cannot pay when a matter is in court. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Okay, honorable members, I don't see more interest on this bill, on this motion, so we'll ask the chair, the mover, to reply.
I wanted to...
Honorable member for Busia, you're the one who seconded.
Yes, I wanted...
So, you wanted to?
To contribute, because we were all worried why there was no committee and...
Honorable member for Busia, you should have put that when you're seconding. You cannot then again support the same that you seconded. So let the chair use this opportunity if there is anything to put straight as you reply.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I have done my part, but Honorable Speaker, in pursuit to the provision of Standing Order 53, 2.3, I request the deferment of putting of the question on this motion. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
In accordance to Standing Order 53.3, we shall defer the putting of the question on this motion. Honorable members, we have exhausted the business of the day. Be upstanding. And the time now being 5:28 p.m., this House stands adjourned until Tuesday, 12th August 2025 at 2:30 p.m.